had to get into one thing that A Balance just brought up. What he brought up was he brought up. I hope all the moderators are here because I don't want to have any garbage happening. And it's not going to be 5 hours long. I hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you guys are really, really, you know, well, I hope you're doing well because the case, no matter how you feel involved in a case, the most important thing is that you take care of you, take care of your family, take care of the people who love you and whom you love. Make sure that you do not get too involved in anything because people will disappoint you, right? Many times the people that don't expect anything from anybody. Don't expect anybody to make the right decisions because usually people don't. And that's just the reality of things. So I'm making this for 2 reasons now. Because I want to put an end to the idiots. I want to put an end to the Durwood thing. I think it's highly disgraceful what Durwood is doing. And I think it's highly disgraceful that he was promoted to a level where everybody knows his name. But now I'm at a point where I figure if I don't point certain things out, people may miss exactly who that guy is. So I listened to about 4 minutes and 42 seconds of A Balance. And again, he seems to pick up on things that are on people's minds. So at the same time, I was getting my inbox. I was getting inboxed about this new statement from Durwood. And you know what? Back in the days, a few months ago, before he was known, I told people, don't send me anything from this guy. I'm interested in 3 people. It's Janie. No, actually 4 people. Janie, Malaya, Daniel, of course, and Justin. Well, I'm also interested in Earl. I'm interested in Ron. I'm now interested in a lot more people. I'm interested in Cheryl because I believe she knows. She knows a lot. So the circle expands, right? But in the beginning, I was very much into the people who I knew. Okay? And by the way, anything I say is fuck the disclaimer. This is very, very alarming. And Julia Turner, you're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. Because we had a couple of private conversations profiling Mr. Geddes. And yeah, I'm very proud of my artwork, guys. I figured I'm going to bring this to the table. I even messaged Simon about it. I was so proud of it. You know why? Because it's so bad, it's almost good. I'm just cracking up looking at this, man. I just went to Grok, Pinocchio, and one of you sent me this wonderful. Well, anyways, a true artist never reveals all his secrets, right? I'm kidding, man. You know what? Sometimes I consider certain things art, to be honest with you. And looking at Gerhard Richter, the artist who just sold a $30 million painting at Sotheby's, and I went to one of his exhibitions once, and he was a great painter at one point, but now he just produces crap and it sells, right? Back then, when he was a struggling painter in the 70s, not struggling, but he was not who he is today. So he done great work and didn't get paid that much. And now he's just super famous and he had an object called Mirror. And it was a fucking mirror. Let me go to Google and see if I can actually find this. I went to the exhibition in Prague. Gerhard Richter mirror. And it was the worst freaking thing I ever seen, man. And I swear to you, that's all it was. It was Gerhard Richter mirror. And you go and there's a mirror on the wall. That's his name. Sotheby's, $30 million painting he sold, not mirror. There's a freaking mirror on the wall. And it says mirror. And that's the name of his artwork. So, no wonder people are like, hey, man, maybe art is just a way to do some tax tweaking. I don't know. It's really crazy. But that's why I now have the confidence even to pull something like this and say, well, it's not high quality AI, but let's just call it art, man. The fact is that I cracked up when I did this. I was going to do it better. then I was like, no, this is so good, man. And no, it's not a janitor. I can show you the original picture of the nose. So don't even go there. Anyways, Dermot O'Grady did it again. And, thankfully I have the people who sent me information, and now he's in the case, dude. I mean, he's there. Okay. There are other locations I look at right now. Moscow. Remember what Wade suspected? Moscow. I cannot pronounce it. Let me show you the location. Wade. Sorry, I'm really freaking tired, man. And I was gonna lay down, and then I realized, oh, you know what happened? I don't know what I had open, but all of a sudden, a Balance's video popped up, right? And started playing. And I heard Dermot O'Grady. I said, oh God, not again. Then I checked my emails and I realized, yep, Dermot O'Grady is speaking. He wants to have the last word, by the way. He knows he's an idiot, but you know what? He wants the last word. Sometimes people just want the last word. They don't know what to say. They have nothing left to say. They have nothing that makes any freaking sense. But they hope that their next word is going to be the last. They dream of doing the same thing again and again and having different results. Which is, kind of the definition of an idiotic individual, right? Right. But people like that exist. You can wish them away, as I did in the beginning, and then I realized, nope, not gonna happen. So this is the name of the place where Wade talked about. He thought maybe the kids are buried there. You know what? The more I enlarge it, the smaller it gets. What the hell is this? Moscow. I know you guys will now. Mike, dude, what's wrong with you? It's an easy word. Moscow do. I cannot say it. This is the word, okay? Okay? You got it? It's close to what? Halifax? Where we at? So but this is about 100 kilometers from Lansdowne. So I put this in the category of a less likely possibility. However, it is still a possibility because Daniel would have had the time to do it, I think. I'm still not sure what Brad Wong was saying for a month. But who cares? There, of course, the international sea is right there. There's a big possibility, if you, I believe the tidal bore is pretty intense there. I don't know. These are the things that Wade is thinking about, the areas. This is one of the areas, New Brunswick or whatever. And I just want to bring it to your attention because Wade, in my opinion, is somebody who's honest and who's transparent and open and doesn't like games. And if he didn't believe something, he wouldn't say it, right? Doesn't mean that everything he believes is accurate, but he's worth listening to, guys. Very worth listening to. And that's why I listen to him. Not only listen to him, but tell other people, you know what? If you want to listen to somebody, listen to him. You know what I mean? I think it's important that we help promote the people, even if they don't have a channel, but promote them as individuals and say, you know what? This guy may be wrong. He may be right. But he's not pulling things out of his, He put some thought into this. Even if he's not actively investigating, maybe his thoughts are not as active as, he's not sitting down wondering maybe, well, he does probably, but it's something that's more involuntary. You know what I mean? When you're invested in something and the thoughts come to your mind and you suddenly remember things out of the blue, out of nowhere. It happens to me all the time, right? When I wake up, that's when I suddenly, oh my God, that's what it was. Not just in this case, but in general. And it's very important that we see things very clear. So the following thing I'm going to say about the Durwood O'Grady thing, guys, and A balance, this is my opinion only. Yeah, I don't think necessarily either. I'm just putting it out there for those of you who may have heard. I think Wade said it on Tint, right? For those of you who are not in Canada, not in Nova Scotia, I want to point out it's 100 kilometers away. I believe for sure the kids are taken to the ocean. I'm thinking up north, but maybe Truro, maybe, who knows, okay? I am not certain yet. I'm not certain. The distance is a problem. I'm thinking about the ATV not being seen, but how much gas do you need for one trip? Well, let's get to this. Think about this. If your father was being openly accused, that's the key right here, openly, right? There's something that's coming to light. The concern is that there are certain things being revealed that are supposed to be kept private. And if you listen to the short video, the short audio of Jordan freaking out, he played 21 Pilots Heathens. The lyrics. Have you guys saw? Several people have pointed out the lyrics there. And let me go there. I know this is going to be a little bit longer than I planned. It's always like that. Heathens, right? Heathens. And I hate to do this, but I'm not the one that promoted these fools. So, I don't know. All my friends are here. I read some of these lyrics and several people pointed it out to me. Why'd you come? You knew you should have stayed. I tried to. Where's the thing about the stranger? The smell of the stranger. We don't. It's really disturbing song. It's one of those songs from, 10 years ago that. I don't even know what the fuck I'm reading something from. They say newcomers have a certain smell. That one stood out to me. That tells me sort of the message is like, what's happening in our area is nobody's business. We don't trust you. We don't deal with outsiders very well. They say newcomers have a certain smell. You have trust issues, not to mention they say they can smell your intentions. Okay, cool. What are my intentions? My intentions are to reveal what's going on, because you put yourself out there. You're the one who jumped into the case of Jack and Lilly. You, okay? I didn't invite you in there, but Belinda didn't invite, nobody invited you in there, okay? Durwood seems to be one of those guys who, somebody said he was in a lot of bar fights and he was pretty tough when he was younger. So he probably has a sort of pride that he thinks if he shows up in a local joint, everybody's going to respect him. Even when he talks shit, oh, this is Durwood, man. 20 years ago, he whooped some ass. Oh my God. Don't mess with Durwood. In small towns, they always have these heroes. When you come to a small town, it's always they have like this one guy that's supposed to be funny and he isn't, or one guy that's supposed to be really smart and he is not at all. One guy that's supposed to be super tough, but like 5 guys in your own neighborhood that will kick his ass or wipe the floor with him. You know what I mean? But they kind of look up to certain dudes and they get certain bar respect, is what I call it, right? Not real respect, but like drunk respect. That's the type of guy Durwood is. That's why he's confident, even though he's stupid, because he used to get away intimidating people into silence, probably. If somebody said, hey, man, you're not so bright, huh? He probably had his way of getting in their face, and then people would be like, shit, man, this guy got nothing to lose. And they back off or whatever. And, yeah, in other words, not the type of person that's part of your crowd, probably. Probably many of us have at one point in our lives met a person like that. I have a few people like that. I don't even remember this band, man, 21 Pilots, but this is what Jordan had playing when he had his little message, and that F you, you bastard, yeah. Who are these dudes? 21, are they still alive? 21 Pilots? Let me just look the picture for a second, man. The hell am I looking at here? I always look if people are still alive, I think they are. Is, not a was. Okay, here we go. Let's look at them. Let's want to get an idea. I always like to do that. Okay. 21 Pilots. Yeah, that sounds like the kind of stuff that sounds like the Jordan star, right? It's pretty much like I can see Jordan listening to their music, admiring them, looking up to them. I can see that. So again, some of you have pointed out the lyrics of the song. I don't want to play it. I'm not going to get a copyright anything due to some bullshit, but you guys have heard it, Yeah, want me to play it again? I can. Okay. Why not, right? Again, I'm ensuring the privacy of anybody messaging me ever. But now it won't show up. What the hell? Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm trying to be better prepared, man. Okay, here we go. Jordan.
I'm gonna fucking tell you straight up. I'm gonna tell you straight now. I can tell you. All of you with your fucking ears. Fuck off. Fuck yourself. Fuck you. Fuck your own.
So some of you might think that's art too. Well, I guess you can call it art if you want to. But this was Jordan. And now Durwood has, you see, Jordan in the beginning had the desire to come to his father's aid, right? And now I think Durwood realizes maybe I need to come to my son's aid, because maybe I got my son into something that he doesn't want to be in. Especially him having been visited by Jack and Lilly the morning of the disappearance. You know, he's a type of dude that will throw the biggest rocks from his own glass house. That's the type of guy he is. And again, in some small towns, people like that get away with it for a minute, man. But then they face the big city. A lot of these types of people, they don't survive in the big city, man. And they especially don't survive in front of a big city audience, as this case is drawn in. And this is very, very alarming. He said, think about this. If your father was being openly accused online of being a... Now look at the order. By the way, you'll be able to tell when I'm tired, when I'm slurring, and the orderer. Listen to the order here. This is very important, people. Of being a 5 things, right? Child murderer, drug manufacturer or dealer. This one, an SA person, liar and thief. Look at the order. And this is what stood out to me when I listened to A Balance, and immediately I got stuck on the order, guys. He is not a child unaliver. I don't believe that. Okay? A rug manufacturer dealer, maybe a little more likely than this one, but still, I haven't heard anything about that. He is mentioning 2 things first that are very unlikely. Why? Because he wants to gaslight you into believing that anybody accusing him of anything or certain things is a bad person, lying, trying to get him. So first he mentions the 2 very unlikely things, okay? I'm not a child unaliver. I never accused you of that. I never seen that accusation. A rug manufacturer, dealer. Okay. Now the third one. Why does he feel the need to point out somebody liking children in a clean way? Remember, Julia, we talked about this? Of course you remember, but I'm just using you right now to be... I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to share what my thoughts are, but I strongly suggest that maybe where Peter Hyatt talked about certain indicators, how to tell what's on somebody's mind and what it can mean. And by the way, Daniel turning on the light in the middle of the night, no. Of course, light and doors, that can indicate SA. Yes, I understand, but it's too general for me. There are other reasons, I believe. In Daniel's case, I have no reason to think that there was any SA. And there's nothing else that would support such a thing. I want to make this extremely clear with you guys, okay? There is no indication. That doesn't mean that I don't change my mind when something new comes. He's distancing himself from the more plausible accusations. As Chelsea suggested, yes, that's exactly what he is doing. Because he is a liar. For 100%, he's a liar. And thief, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't know. Okay? And as for this one, I'm not getting into it, guys. I'm not getting into it. Not right now. Maybe I will talk a little bit more about the language, how to detect somebody by his language who has the desire to do certain things. You know, you can detect it easily too. And me and Peter Hyatt talked about it before. I sent Julia a part of the screen, a screenshot of a part of the conversation, how you can tell, or some ways that you can tell. And believe me, I can tell from the language in everyday life when people talk about certain things. I know who they are, and you'll be able to do it too. But again, there are certain subjects that are so sensitive, and of course, for legal issues, I'm not going to get into this. I will maybe keep it general, and in the future, give you some statements first in the members only section, where I'm not going to tell you who it is from, because when there are accusations being made, and even if it doesn't have to do with an actual crime that's been committed, but sometimes you'll be able to look at who the potential suspects could be. Meaning, there are people you don't need to look at because their language about children is straight up. They don't say, well, oh, Julia, feel free to send me this again if you wish, about in the clean way, liking somebody, some children, or some whatever it is. But there are ways that people talk about children where I would say immediately, you know what, this person you don't need to look at in this investigation. This person doesn't have, and it's not about who committed a crime only. It's not about who would, who knows the law. It's not about the law. My first step is to look at who I can tell from their language may have a desire to do certain things, okay? It doesn't mean they ever did anything. Maybe they didn't because they know what the law states. And I am now getting really, really deep into something I didn't plan to. So I'm going to read your comments. Thank you, Krista. You're getting it. You're getting it. Okay? This is alarming. I didn't bring this up. Liar, I brought up a lot of times. Thief? Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you, bro. Look at this. We know you didn't kill. I don't think you unalived the child. Especially in this case, nobody accused you. Or has anybody? I don't know. Well, I don't. I don't accuse you of unaliving Jack and Lilly. And I don't accuse you of manufacturing rugs. But the language that I'm going to show you in a minute, and I'm not going to make a determination here, people. Don't make me do all of the dirty work. Sometimes, you know what? I believe we're now at a point where actually we can, I don't need to say everything. Okay, maybe I'm gonna, it lacks context, guys, but I want to actually share something that Peter Hyatt once said to me. And the names I left out there of the person, which is a very good thing, because I want to make sure I don't get, there's no accusation going around here. This is all very general, people. Do I need another disclaimer? I don't think so, because I'm not saying anything. I'm leading you to the water. And you can drink if you like, okay? But I'm switching things up a little bit to where I don't explain everything in detail, simply because I want things to move along, and a lot of you have paid a lot of attention already. And those will be the people that, could wind up feeling bored if I do just that. So the great Peter Hyatt, I'm going to go into an old message, an old conversation between me and him. don't even know if it's that important. But you can tell from somebody's language many times where they're at. And this, what is highly sensitive about this, of course, is the fact that he starts with using two things that are very unlikely. And all of a sudden, he goes into something that he obviously is, liar. As for the other two, I've said what I said. He is a liar. Little by little, he's trying to gaslight people into putting liar and child unaliver in the same category. They're not. He wants you to buy the whole package. And that's why he is introducing something that he isn't, and probably isn't, in order to try to give you the impression that he isn't any of the other things. I think I done well explaining it. I hope so. You know, sometimes I explain things and I'm thinking like, oh God, that was not good. It wasn't bad, but I don't know if I did it well. But sometimes I'm just like, oh shit, this went well. You know, and it all depends on also how awake I am. But this is like a Twitter conversation I had with Peter Hyatt maybe back in, what was it? 2021, 4 years ago. It was about Summer Wells. So I asked to name three. With all the rug sales, he and or his mother likely both believe Summer is dead. Okay. Well, I don't want to use the name. Does his language indicate attraction towards Summer? It very well may. With contamination, it's difficult to say with certainty. SA is a strong element in this case. That outsiders would be involved is consistent with the context of closed communities with substance abuse. I agree with you. And when you look at the lyrics of Heathen, and I'm not talking about SA and specifically right now, but what I'm saying to you is that there is a reason that there are certain subject matters I'm often leaving out. I'm leaving them out for different reasons. It doesn't mean that somebody like Peter Hyatt didn't tell others in private what he didn't say very directly. And luckily, the name of the person is not here. You know, those types of communities where there are lots of rugs, they keep things secret. Doesn't matter what it is. I go down, you go down, your house will burn, whatever. It's different rules down there. And the way that D-Wood speaks is with a confidence. You see, he thinks he can intimidate people because he may be able to do so locally. I'll get more into this. Let me see your comments right now, man. Because I wasn't planning to do anything, and now all of a sudden I see that you guys are maybe interested in languages that makes us think bad things. Yes. What's on your mind comes out of your mouth. So if you said, and by the way, this person we were talking about also said something about Summer, you know, not in a, what did he say? I mean, Julia knows who I'm talking about. Not in a weird way. I liked Summer, but not in a weird way. That was the other indicator, okay? And D-Wood, what did he say, Julia? If you have it, feel free to share it, and I read it out right now. I'll be very direct in my members section, believe me. I'll be very, very direct. Very direct. Out here, not so much. But you see, this particular person, me and Peter Hyatt were talking about, made a comment about some of us, and he said, "Yeah, I like her, but not in a weird way." And immediately, when somebody feels the need to tell you, "Oh, I like this kid, but not in a weird way," what? What are you talking about, dude? Who brought? I didn't bring this up. Why do you feel the need to point such a thing out? And again, this is one of the messages from that again, Peter Hyatt has died, has passed away a few months this year, right? Earlier this year. And it's really weird to go into these old messages because I feel like, God, I feel like replying to him, you know what I mean? And I can't. The only thing I can do is once in a while share some of his older videos and let you guys know that he done great when it comes to like an area like anonymous author identification, which I don't like to get into too much. But I will as soon as I have a reason to do so. But it's tedious, and I haven't figured out yet how to apply plaids in such an efficient manner that it really, really saves time. You know what I'm saying? It's a long process. I like to get to, hey, good evening, Roxanne, everybody, other people I didn't mention, thank you. I see your names. I'm very happy to have you guys here. Especially at times where I don't plan to do anything. Things tend to flow the most when I don't really want to do something. I do want to do something, of course. It changed, but I didn't plan to do anything. And, Joe doesn't disappoint, man. He wasted our time, but now he's coming through. Because he knows he's a waste of time and he's going to tell you all about it. All about it. So when somebody says to you, I like this kid, but in a clean way, not in a weird way, people, keep your kids away from these types of people. That's all I'm going to say. Doesn't matter if it's a relative, doesn't matter if it's a childhood friend. It doesn't make a difference if somebody feels the need to point out to you that the way he looks at children is in a very clean, I've done a lot of these analyses and investigations where I'm absolutely horrified by what so many people are missing. And again, if you talk about dating, if anybody listening out there is a single mother, I want you to keep certain things in mind because sometimes people marry women because of their children, because they're after the kids. And in statement analysis, if you apply plaids properly, it can save your life. It can save your child's life. It can save your well-being. It can save a lot. People give themselves away, guys. They give themselves away. Yup. Would any of you feel the need to clarify you love your kids or other kids in a clean way? That's exactly my point, guys. And you know what? This is why I will spend time on things and go very general. I think it's too late to help Jack and Lily, but there are many children, there are many mothers making decisions that are not in their child's best interest. And we can all make mistakes, but children, be it Sebastian or be it Jack and Lily, they didn't choose their stepfathers. And no, I don't see any indication in Daniel Martel's case that there was any SA. I just don't see any indication, okay? That's why I'm not going to go down that road, even though, a lot of you have asked me about it, and I say, no, I don't. But guess what? As in every single case, nothing is permanent until everything comes out. So if I see something that changes my mind, I will change my mind, people. I do not defend something simply because it was said by me earlier on. I say, thank you for changing my mind. The more I do this, the less wrong I am. So if I am, I want this to be pointed out to me so I can fine-tune what I'm doing to the point where it becomes easier, more efficient, and we can all learn a lot more. Wow. I feel crazy now, man. Reading Hyatt, I feel like a student. But you know what? The best way to learn is by teaching. And that's why I'm avoiding the anonymous author thing. I did it when I had to determine whether or not Daniel's messages to Charmaine were really from Daniel. You know, and again, somebody who so I forced myself to do it for 20 minutes, and I didn't go all the way, but I was 90+% sure it was from Daniel. I still had like 2-3 hours more to go in my work to really be able to say, yes, this comes from Daniel. But I was already there enough, and I said, screw it, I'm going to make the video, and I'm going to treat this as, and then of course, as time went by and I started to analyze the messages from Daniel, it became clearer and clearer and clearer that they actually were from him. But remember, that was like a month or two after Jack and Lily disappeared. At the time, we had only heard from Darwood. We had not heard from Daniel yet. Now, of course, Daniel is all over the place, but he wasn't at the time. So we need to always be very, very sure that, you know, we look at, in hindsight, we look at things and we remember what we knew and what we didn't know. Okay, so this is very, very interesting here. Okay, I think you guys got that right. You understand what I'm hinting at? Yes or no? If no, well, we'll talk more later. Would you okay, now listen to this. Would you try to defend him in any way you could? Would you defend your father if he was openly accused of being a child unaliver, innocent? Once you are the epitome of a liar, and I don't like to label people because liars can tell the truth. And truthful people do tell lies. If you catch them at the wrong moment, point out something they've done that they're ashamed of, they will lie. Okay? There's no such thing as a liar and a truthful person, but there are such certain degrees. But if I had to mention the top 5 liars that I ever encountered, top 5 people who would deserve the label liar, you're in it. One of the most blatant liars. Proud of his big mustache and his curly hair. And yeah, I'm so proud of my artwork. Before I move on, I'm gonna bring it right back, guys. And I cracked the hell up, man. And thank you to the person, I don't know if I can name you. Say hi if I can name you. This is so funky, it's good. Anyways, I need this in order to motivate myself to continue talking about something as unpleasant as this particular case, guys. Thank you, Seawood. Thank you to all of you who have done so great bringing information my way. Things that I wouldn't be able to get otherwise, guys. So I want to listen a little bit to A Balance. Is that okay? Is that okay? Because you know what? If he already covered something, it's 15 minutes long. Shit, man, I'm going to do a long one. No, it's not going to be a long video here. I play it by ear. I want to listen a little bit to him.
Only after and in the same breath as, thank you very much.
Okay.
All hail, message from Durwood O'Grady. Thank you very much for the screenshot. You know who you are. Let's read this together.
And I also received the screenshots. Thank you so much for the screenshots, guys. Thank you. And don't worry about sending me what I already have. I just prefer to do it sometimes like this.
This is funny. Think about it. If your father was being openly accused online of being a child unaliver, a rug manufacturer / dealer, a kitty diddler, lied.
Okay, I was just wondering how he's gonna say it, because he makes sure not to say it. He knows the rules. So, kitty, yeah, yeah. Good way, bro.
And thief. Ed was totally innocent.
Yeah.
4 exclamation points. Would you try to defend him in any way you could?
Do you know people who use a lot of exclamation points and who use a lot of question marks? This is the same way as getting in your face and demanding to be believed, almost shouting. It's a forceful way of communicating. That's also, once in a while, I capitalize in my titles, but I find it really tacky when people capitalize. I do it sometimes here and there. I mean, you can look at my list of videos, maybe, because sometimes I get advised, you should do it like this, man. More people will watch. And then I'm like, yeah, I know. But if I capitalize everything, then how do I make sure that certain words are being paid more attention to than the others? I can't bold them in the title. You know what I'm saying? You see here, this is kind of what I do sometimes also. Not capitalizing, I mean, not all capitals, but solves he capitalized. So this is kind of the style that I'm doing once in a while, where I want to make sure your eyes are immediately on the thing that I really think stands out. I hope I'm on. Anyways, you see, since I wasn't going to do one today, this is all on borrowed time. This is all bonus. This is what my son is doing. Okay, let's hear it from AB.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 question marks.
Again, when people use a lot of exclamation marks or question marks, exclamation marks, they're trying too hard to convince you. They're not simply sharing information with you. They want to be believed. And they do not think that you will either watch their videos, pay attention to them, or believe them based on what they actually have to offer. And of course, that's when I see a title of a video, boom, breaking news, evident, all capitalized shit. I'm like, I know there's nothing in there. I already know. If I see a well-written title, couple of things are capital. And again, you can do what you want, but this is just how I manage to be able to do what I do in a short amount of time. I don't like to waste time.
This is what my son is doing, and despite the hateful lies, podcasters are...
How do you know that people hate? I don't see hate. Hey, Balance, welcome. Yep, forcing. Don't let anybody guilt you or force you ever. And anytime you have somebody in your life who's trying to guilt trip you, never associate with those people, period. If they try to get you to donate or take part in some event that makes no sense, and try to insinuate you're not a good person if you don't participate. Get the hell out of here. Never respond. Never let anybody guilt you. It doesn't matter if it's a partner, if it's family, a friend, or even if it's a boss. Stand your ground there. Do your job. Do what you're paid to do. But if you are tired of taking, because you're a good employee, you're tired of taking on the workload of some slackers that the boss seems to like, and you have to drag them along, as was the case in my case in a couple of decades ago, don't let them do it. Don't let them say to you, oh, but you're so smart and I count on you. And what would I do with, I'll get the hell out of here, man. Reflect it in my paycheck if what you're doing, if what you're saying is true. You know what I mean? This is just general, because plaids, if even though this case may never be solved, use everything that you come across as a training tool, people. Has your life become easier to manage since you started to learn about plaids? I'm curious. And yes, please come to chat, guys. A Balance is here also. I'm very happy he's here and may also answer. And yeah, my life has become a lot easier. Being able not necessarily to sit down and do long analyses, but the plaids way is the way to bypass the long procedures of sitting down for 8 hours and saying, oh my God, now I'm done with my analysis. So what am I going to do with it? Oh, I hope that the investigator actually reads it. Oh, well, I get paid, fuck it. No, I like to know the end result. I like to do this a lot more than working for somebody who may use it or not. Doesn't matter if, you know. So anyways, I'm going to use it on the doctor next week. Yeah, ask your doctor. Remember the question? If the doctor prescribes you something, ask, does this medication have any side effects I could be worried about or should be worried about? Or I could be concerned about, should be concerned about, or need to know more about. Don't ask about if it has side effects, because they all do. But if it has side effects, you should be concerned about. Please please let me know what the doctor said. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very much looking forward also. If any of you is in the member section, feel free to just share, by the way, any experiences in the member section. The videos that are down there right now, that are there in the member section, I am not going to, I'm going to keep them there. So it's not going to come outside of the member section, because I realized that was a privacy concern before, right? So I'm learning when it comes to how to do this in a way that everybody, no matter who you are, if you are only interested in Jack and Lilly and not necessarily from a statement analysis point, but in general, or if you're straight up about statement analysis, it doesn't matter what the case is. And one case doesn't matter if it's Sebastian or if it's Summer Wells or some of the new cases, or, you know, and if you have analyzed something yourself, in the member section, remember, in the member section, I posted, and I'm going to think I do it again. I think I will post an image of plaids and invite anybody who wants to share their own analysis, be it of Nicole Kessinger or whatever. And then I will invite every single person to please, you know, comment, pick up where you think something was missed whenever you spot something. So little by little, the classes are coming together, but I want to make sure it grows organically, where you focus on the art, on the craft, and understand every single step that you take. That is the most important thing to me, that you will never even if you do it professionally, you will never have to revisit any of my old videos and say, what did he say? What am I supposed to do? No. You can, of course, go to the comment sections. And there, the comments are more about statement analysis than they are here in the open forum, where people, of course, talk about this case, which is my priority, people. It's still my priority. And now let's hear what he has to say.
Spreading, and idiots are repeating and believing to attract views and subscriptions for a few dollars. Myself and my
So all of the places that you give them your interviews to have been monetized. So what the hell are you talking about when somebody talks about, you see, they're alleging intentions. Just because somebody's monetized does not mean they're lying to you. And I believe if you do the work, you deserve it. If you don't, I cannot do anything about it. And I usually blame the people who watch it. But this has nothing to do with whether or not somebody is truthful, even though monetization can, of course, lead people who don't have any idea to pretend to know what's going on. So that happens all of the time. But let's also remember that the channels where you given interviews after nobody here gave you the time of day in my chat. So this has nothing to do with whether or not people are telling the truth about him. And even the dumbest person is able to tell that Durwood is lying. And it didn't take that long. It took too long in some cases. But, you know, I mean, is there anybody who still believes Durwood? Is there anybody? I mean, I don't understand how people invite him into private chats, but that doesn't mean they believe him, you know? Not naming any names, not doing it anymore unless they force themselves on me, because I'm freaking tired, man. But thanks to A Balance making this video, I said, gee, I gotta talk about this one. Oh God, because I hope that this is going to be the final nail in his coffin. And no, don't hurt him, don't attack him, don't yell, don't. I'm using it figurative speech. The nail on the coffin of the topic. Let's say it like this. I don't want him to die. In case Kent comes and says, hey, you are promoting criminal activity. Leave Durwood alone. Not verbally. Give it to him if he shows up. You tell him what you gotta say, man. But don't go visit him. Don't seek confrontation. That's physical. Don't ever break the law. Don't stick out your neck to the point where it harms you or your family or anything. But that's exactly what he did. He stuck out his neck for Daniel to the point where it harmed his own son. And it was real stupid because his son has a lot to hide and it's coming to light. But you see, that's what happens with these small town heroes who get respect locally in a close-knit community where everything is sort of upside down and a lot of people have a lot of things to hide. And they start to feel immune, and all of a sudden they're presented with the general public and they're like, oh, wait. Chris Proudfoot, the same way. He couldn't handle it. One-on-one, he was great at intimidating people. He always said, we should do this in person. No. I don't want to do anything with you in person. I want you to tell us what happened to Sebastian. I don't need to get to know you. He said things like, people think they know us, but they don't really know us, which is also a very alarming thing to say. That means we know him, we just don't understand him. He wants to give us he wants us to sympathize with how he felt towards Sebastian and told us, if you met Sebastian, you would hate him too. That was his message. That's why somebody slanders a person, even though that person is missing. If somebody's missing, even their enemies tend to say decent things about them. Because all of a sudden, the person is a victim, especially if you know he's deceased or suspected, highly suspected. You know what I mean? So I appreciate your comments, guys. He watches us religiously. He does, man. I know Durwood doesn't stay, but you see, he probably commenting too. But honestly, you know, after the last one, you know what? I said, fuck it, man. I'm gonna keep my chat clean. I'm gonna keep my comment section clean. So I had to hide him from my channel. You know what I mean? And I don't need to have him pollute me. So he's probably commenting right now. He may be in chat right now, but nobody can see him. You know what I mean? There's a good chance he's saying, you bad, you fat guy, Yeah, maybe I'm missing out on a couple of things, but I need my peace of mind too, man. I need to look at the chat and be able to read reasonable things from people that I can actually learn from, right? And get information from. And he's done enough sidetracking. So he's putting enough out there for me to work with, man. More than enough. So, where's my coffee cup? Let's hear.
Son have told the total truth through it all, and have suffered huge damages because of stupid, ignorant, hateful people.
Why don't you tell us what people said? He's avoiding to give detail. He's avoiding to tell us what he's accused of directly. Why? Because he has nothing to come back with. People like Daniel do that all the time. He doesn't tell A Balance what he has a problem with that A Balance said. He talks about the people in general. He wants to, and he's doing the same thing. He's accusing people of having bad motivations, but that's avoidance. He's avoiding to tell you what exactly it is that really bothers him. So much rather, he interprets the words of others than telling us what they are. So he's trying to gaslight into telling us these people are hateful, ignorant, stupid. I mean, Durwood calling someone stupid is really, that's rich. And wanting money. So he's doing what he's doing is he's making allegations that have absolutely nothing to do with what he's avoiding. Thank God for our friends. Do you have any? How many do you have left? He's afraid to lose them too, because more and more supporters are leaving him. Even people who supported him, maybe Kent one day will say, dude, we cannot talk anymore because, you know, I'm now being recognized as an important figure or whatever. And now, who knows? Who knows? But there are people who don't care either way about what the truth is, but they realize, you know what, association with Durwood, you see, they're thinking like, okay, I'm lying a lot, and if I'm associated with an even bigger liar, then I will be examined, and I don't want this to happen. Anyways, I'm getting coffee. Be right back. And of course, Callie Gibson is here. And Callie, of course, goes out there. And Callie talks about things. Oh, I should have let this run, huh? Because people leave the moment I leave. It's no problem. Listen, people. Callie is out there and she puts herself on the front lines and in the uncensored group and shares information. Sometimes she shares a video of mine. Sometimes she shares a balances video. And of course, the responses are always the same. These people now tell me what your problem is with what A Balance says. Tell me what your problem is with what I say. Don't beat around the bush, okay? Rather than telling people we are hateful, we only do this for money, and so on and so on. Tell me what your real problem is, and then we can talk about it. And you will lose. You will lose hard because it's going to be reality based, right? We are treated like a courtroom. If it's insignificant, we don't want to talk about it. We don't have time for that. Tell me what your problem is with what I say, Durwood. Tell me exactly, and I can guarantee you what you have a problem with is what you are trying to hide because it's truthful and accurate.
Thank God for our friends. On Thursday, November 13th, the major crimes investigator John Donaldson was given information by myself, which is Darren Geddes, aka Derwood O'Grady, and a professional private investigator, all just bet.
By the way, passive language. Passive language, did you notice this? He didn't give them shit. At least nothing useful. Listen to this. It's pseudo self-importance as well. On Thursday, November 13th, the major crimes investigator John Donaldson was given information by myself. Oh my God. The great Darren Geddes decides to step off his high horse for 1 minute and say, Mr. Donaldson, I'm going to grant you a little bit of my time. I allow you to have a little bit of an insight into the inner workings of this empty shell. Was given by myself. He didn't say I gave, was given information by myself. He didn't say I gave John Donaldson information. Was given by myself. That is not the same thing. Maybe they had a quick talk. Maybe he tried to say some complete BS and the guy was like, what? What did you just say? And then he probably figured like, oh, never mind. That's why he was confrontational with police. He didn't want to get into deep detail. You know why? Because he would get in trouble if he as blatantly lied to the police and under oath and signing a statement like that. He would get in serious trouble, and he knows it. So he prefers to go on YouTube, and I don't think if anybody still has him on, you know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't want to have him on because it's too easy. And I would give people the wrong impression that he's somebody worth paying attention to. Again, this is, to me, the final chapter, dude. The final chapter of Durwood. And I avoided you for 6 months. But now, I think it's time, man. You know, information is king, people.
anybody can be a PI. That should enable them to solve.
By the way, anybody can be a PI. Anybody can be a PI. That's absolutely true. Remember Stephen Fisher in the case of Sebastian Rogers? Remember my analysis indicating that he actually knows what happened and that his goal is to keep the Proudfoots out of prison? I will share it with you later on if I come across it again. Actually, as a matter of fact, why not right now? I don't know if I can find it right now. It's probably an older video of mine that has, but this was one of my first analyses, and that's when I was in a private Facebook group. I'm a private Twitter group. I analyzed it, and then I'm seeing some comments that are real funny here. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. I get sidetracked really easily. But you see, that's how I feel good about things, even when I feel like nothing is going to happen in the case. At least we can learn from it. And then many of you are going to go out one day when there's another case coming, and you will immediately be able to tell what's going on and be a part of the solution. And you will probably figure that a lot of the things that were on your mind, you were right about, and you allowed people to talk you out of it or sidetrack you. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Stephen Fisher. Oh, shit. That's a good one, man. I hope the image is shown. No. That's not it. Yikes. Sorry, people. The scot-free comment. Remember, Julia? Stephen Fisher talked about going scot-free.
Hello, everybody.
Well, this is an early video of mine where I was on the whiteboard. And I'm gonna make sure you see it. Listen to this one. And by the way, Stephen Fisher is not stupid. He's not a genius, but he's very far from stupid. And he knows exactly what happened to Sebastian Rogers. Make no mistake about it. Maybe not in the whole detail, but he knows overall. And this time I talked about intention detection. The best thing that could happen, and there was, Dog the Bounty Hunter wrote something. He said, the Proudfoots should get a truth serum administered. And his reply was, the best thing that could happen if somebody is responsible for this is that they get drugged by these people, because then they get off scot-free. So being scot-free means without receiving the deserved or expected punishment, or without being harmed. He is telling us they should go to prison, in my opinion. And he doesn't say the best thing for them to happen, but he says the best thing that could happen. And that's about him. The best thing for him. If somebody is responsible, yes, I believe Katie Proudfoot is the one person responsible, but both of them could go to prison. He's telling us the Proudfoots deserve to go to prison from his point of view. But the best thing, his mission is to keep them out of there. More of that in the members section later. I know some of you say, talk about Jack and Lilly. Okay, here we go.
of the disappearance of Jack and Lilly Sullivan? Well, I'll just bet you do. Yeah, you've leaked all of the information they need to solve this case, that's for sure. So it's not out in left field here. They've lied themselves into a position that's going to force the RCMP to slap some pearly silver bracelets on you. Clink, clink. Tighten them up, boys.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that for you. Old Durwood says that should enable them to solve the disappearance.
Sorry, guys. Yes, Kelly Gibson, you're right. I believe that Stephen Fisher was hired for the reason of sidetracking. That's why he spends all this time on Twitter. That's why he spends time. Stephen Fisher did what Durwood does, except Stephen Fisher got paid $17,500. Is that how much the Proudfoots gave him? Durwood does it for free. That's why he's so emotional. I'm doing all of that, and all of a sudden people no. You see, and we looked up. He had an EMS license. That's about the only thing that Stephen Fisher had that wasn't from online courses. He took online courses. Anybody can be a PI, people. You can become a great PI if you got what it takes. You can become one of the many shitty PIs who does some simple things. And and again, I'm going to talk about Katie Proudfoot and the private investigator also, the one before, Heather, whatever her name is. Thank you, Krista, and thank you to others who sent this to me. You know what I mean? So that guy didn't care how people attack him. You remember, Kelly, how Stephen Fisher was attacked? He didn't give a fuck. He also blocked me. And again, that was me. I could have done better. But I remember when I got him on the hook, when he gave 2 contradicting statements to me about how long a cadaver dog, when he first told me a cadaver dog can, after 100 years, still detect that there was a dead body there. And then he said in another comment, it's been 9 months since Sebastian disappeared. If you go to the Bowersox's home, 9 months is too long. They wouldn't be able to detect anything. And I think that's when I started to get a lot of people following me, because all of a sudden that was shared quite a bit. So thank you, Fisher, for underestimating me. But anyways, some of you remember the case, and it is so similar to Jack and Lilly, guys. I got sick of it because I realized it's not going anywhere. And then Jack and Lilly came along, and I thought it's going to be solved very soon. But now I realize, man, it's very, very similar. And you have similar types of things going on. Of course, Durwood is Daniel's Stephen Fisher. What Stephen Fisher was to Chris Proudfoot is Durwood to Daniel. Because Fisher came up with all kind of stupid theories. And he brought back like footage that was already dismissed by police. They say, man, this is a dog walker at night. It's not Sebastian. Oh, but you can see somebody hiding behind it. No, the dog took a leak. In the dog, and so he walked with the dog behind a car, something like that. You know what I mean? Anything to get people. Look over here. The magician. Look over here. Don't look there. It worked, man. It's sad but true. And Kelly remembers exactly what I'm talking about, and so does Julia, and so does Krista, and a few others that have been on my channel before. Stephen Fisher and Durwood O'Grady are doing almost the exact same thing, except Durwood is not officially a PI. Maybe you should ask Daniel to send you some classes. I'm sure Daniel figured out where these classes are. The Free Berkeley classes or whatever. And from what I understand, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that you can even become, for as little as $200, you can become a certified PI. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think that's actually what somebody told me back then when I talked about Stephen. And when I talked about Stephen, you know, that's when it was pointed out to me that, oh my God, the only thing real that's not, or the only thing that's not an online certificate is his EMS license. Everything else, you know, search and rescue, all of these are just online courses, man. You know, easy to pass, I think. I mean, what do? You sit at home, you take an exam, and at the same time you ask AI. You know, I mean, I don't know, man. How can you these days make sure that the people who get the certificates actually know what the hell they're doing, or that they know anything? What kind of pressure is that? I mean, whatever is online available, you know, can't I just go to Grok and ask? I don't know. Anyways. Oh, Crabtree. Oh, God. Yeah. You know, Crabtree is like, oh, God, you know what? I got to be careful now. But no, God, I don't have. Crabtree is like his son. That's like Jordan, right? Anybody know here what Crabtree? He walked through the... he ran through the forest pretending to look for Sebastian, and you could see what looked like a rolled up dollar bill. And, well, you describe it in chat. And then he said, Stephen Fisher actually kicked him out and said, I'm not associating with you anymore, man. Because people think you're a substance abuser. I don't want to be associated. So he said, okay, I'm going back into channeling aliens and ancestors and have the, what's it called, speaker box, or he's doing like the distorted voice thing where he tells people, oh, your great-grandfather is talking to you from the grave, and some bullshit like that. He said, I guess I'm going back into aliens and ghosts and all of this. I said, oh, God, that's your angle. That makes a lot of sense, bro. Some real characters that came out of the woodworks already for Sebastian. So anybody that thinks that something surprises me with Jack and Lilly, no. Oh, no, I was prepared for all of this, man. I believe it. He gave MC, who's MC? I'm sorry. I believe you. Maybe Crabtree was good with drones. Yeah, I believe that. Maybe he was good at something. But you know what? You know what, guys? Gotcha. But you know what, people? People can be good at one thing, but then take the side of the Proudfoots because they're associated with somebody who, in my opinion only, was hired to protect them. Right? So intention detection is the most important thing here. Even if you got the skills. And I do believe that Fisher is a lot smarter than a lot of people think he is. He knows what happened, people. And he's on a mission. I don't know if he's still with them, but... Okay, I got you. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to any of these people either. Only a couple of times when I saw, hey, Anita, I saw the Spirit Box. I saw only a couple of times when that channel had the footage of Katie Proudfoot searching for Sebastian. She drove to the school with her windows up and drove right back. How long did it take? A minute? 2? When she supposedly was hysterically searching, but anyways.
Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Oh, a mystery, eh? The disappearance? The RCMP should have solved this issue months ago. What does that say? Earl's in the way there. If the RCMP do not making arrests of at least some of the people responsible for this mess within 1 week, 7 days, I want the
I can go back into it too, see legal. I got that I will go back into Sebastian.
tape of my interview with them on November 13th released to the public, unredacted, in full. They need to start being accountable. Oh, here's Derwood O'Grady, Darren Getty's trying to capture some headlines, trying to garner some attention again. Here we go again. Oh, boy.
Maybe after this, I'm going to, if I have time, if everybody's awake, maybe I'll go into this too.
You tried to accost the RCMP. You know, Mike is going to laugh at this. I'm sure he's already on it, but
I was.
listen, let's take this down. The Blades framework. Let's take and break it down.
Good.
And look at what he leads with and what he repeats.
Yeah.
His priority. Derwood says, think about this. If your father was being openly accused and so forth about being or bringing harm towards a child, in other words, rug manufacturing and being a dealer and a chomo or diddler or nonce.
Chimu. That's a good one. Chimu. Remember this one so you know what I'll be talking about in the future. A Chimu. Guys, after this, I'm going to go into the Sebastian thing. I can play the private investigator conversation with Chris and Katie. I can do that if you guys are still up for it. I do want to get through this one though, because I think we do need a break, because now, anyways, let me know if you're still there.
He says you would try to defend him in any way you could. So this is the number one priority, is to force sympathy for himself and Jordan.
Guys, let me go into the Sebastian video right now. This is a good idea, actually. I'll be back on this, okay? This guy is a real ditz. And he's really, really, really annoying. And I think that I said the main things. There's still more to say, of course, but I have time. I have time to do that. I don't need to get into it right now. Oh, the clean way. I got this from Julia. Give me a second, people, okay? Give me a second. Krista, I'm looking for your message right now, so I get to it. Because if I don't do it now, it's going to be just a delay from hell. So this is Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Stepfather and mother of Sebastian Rogers. This is the case that I was busy with before Jack and Lilly came along. So those of you who are here for Jack and Lilly, it's going to be a little while that I'm going to spend on this. And this was the private investigator that Seth Rogers
Can I tell her who's? Yeah.
Seth Rogers hired this private investigator, right? Please go to the chat and see people filling everybody in a little bit more about what this was all about.
My name's Heather. I came by yesterday. Hi, Katie. What can I do for you? Are you the one?
What can I do for you? Uh-oh, your son is missing. That's what she can do for you, you ditz. What can I do for you? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm the private investigator. I came by. I was hired to find your son who's missing. Boy, that starts off good, doesn't it? Immediately you realize that person's not welcome. You should be kissing her ass and say, oh my God, I cannot compose myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please help me find my son. What can I do for you? What can she do for you, Katie? That's what it should be all about. You should be telling her what she can do for you. Were you the woman, okay?
That trespassed my property yesterday?
Oh, were you the woman that trespassed my property yesterday? So I know a little bit more about it. Chris Proudfoot said, well, she didn't even ring a bell. And then he said, oh, by the way, we don't even have a bell. Was it that? I remember a lot of things. Not always in detail, but I'm going to look at the chat because Kelly and Julia and Krista are very much aware of the details in this particular case. And guys, if you are here for Jack and Lilly, this is so similar. This was, by the way, very early on. I believe it was within the months of Sebastian disappearing. I believe Heather was hired by Seth Rogers, the biological father of Sebastian's. Okay, trespassing my property. Immediately the accusation. Okay, let's hear it.
I actually didn't. I walked down your neighbor's property and then down the easement and then up the other side. That's not an easement. I own that. That's my property. Well,
okay.
The fence says no trespassing. I didn't come on the property. That is.
Listen to this. Son is missing. Son is missing. And she is letting her know she's not welcome. Right off the bat.
My property. The easement, that's a public easement. I own it. It's not. I own it. I am here to try to clear you. So I don't need you to clear me. So I don't
need you to clear me. Look at how Katie Proudfoot is speaking now. This is the real Katie, okay? This is not the Katie that puts on an act in front of the camera. I don't need you to clear me. Okay, she's confident.
I don't know why you're being defensive with me.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
First, can you identify yourself?
Yeah, I did already. My name's Heather, private investigator.
Well, you're coming to my house.
I am. I'm investigating the disappearance of your stepson. So do you want him found or no? Because if you do, then why would you have a problem with me coming to talk to you guys?
Very good. Very good. Very good. Amen.
Well,
real simple, because we're asking you.
You see, Katie dumbfounded. Well, she has nothing to offer. Chris, real simple.
Questions, and you're telling us that you can't answer those questions, so why should we answer any?
I absolutely did not trespass. There's no such thing. There's nothing, there is a such thing as a public easement. It's not posted.
I own it. I have signs on.
Okay, your fence has a sign. I didn't talk about it.
Inside of.
Okay, take it up with, if you want to report it to law enforcement, do it. Take it up with them.
Okay. This is quite new to me.
I am trying to help. Okay, so if you want somebody to help you, that's what I'm doing. So calm down, talk to me like civil human beings. I'm trying to help find him. I've been talking to sex offenders in the area.
Law enforcement has done that.
Okay, and I'm going to do it too because I'm working it too. And I have that right, and the person that hired me has that right. Anybody has that right.
He's also blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't.
I haven't accused you of shit.
Oh, he's blatantly accused me of the M word. Listen to this. He also blatantly accusing me of
murder when I didn't.
When I didn't? He is blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't what?
I haven't accused you of
When I didn't. It makes no sense, right? He's blatantly accusing me of murder when I didn't. Remember, when it makes no sense, make it make sense. When I didn't what? She cannot finish the sentence. She cannot finish. And she's talking about her ex-husband, Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers. That's whom she's talking about. And I don't remember him. You know what he said at the time that I remember? He said his mother had a habit of over-medicating him to make him go to sleep because he couldn't go to sleep. And he suspected he gave her too much sleeping pills and that Sebastian passed away that way. I almost agree with that, by the way. But she turns it into accusation of unaliving intentionally, which she didn't do, by the way. She's making the accusation seem worse than it is. So by overdoing it, she wants to give you a reason to be defensive. She's defensive for other reasons. She's defensive in general because she has something to hide. So she's trying to play the victim immediately.
I haven't accused you of shit.
I didn't say you did. I said he did.
Okay, well,
Okay, so
I'm trying to decide who is on my radar and who is not. I've talked to sex offenders. That is my focus right now. In my mind, you're not a person of interest, but I'm coming here trying to talk to you.
of course she is. But, unless you're really shitty PI, maybe she's actually not a good PI. As a matter of fact, if you remember, she talked to Chris Proudfoot's boss, allegedly boss, which I don't believe the person that she talked to was actually. She is not a good PI, in my opinion.
It's not a good look to trespass either.
I'm
Like,
not
that's
worried
my
about what it
point.
looks like, ma'am.
It's posted.
And again, trespass, putting her on the defensive. Gotcha.
So, let me tell you
4
something.
days.
I just came from the TBI headquarters in Jackson, Mississippi.
Honey, I'm going to tell you, as a PI, I have a lot more leeway with things I can do and people I can talk to. And this isn't my first rodeo. I've worked cases like this before. I have gotten information that TBI or law enforcement's not able to get, and I have passed it along, and it has helped the case. I mean, that's all I could tell you.
What have you passed along that's helped us case?
And that's true. Nothing has helped so far.
I just started working this case. I haven't even...
Yeah, she's full of shit too, by the way, this PI. And Seth fired her pretty quickly after that, right? And there was a reason for that. And I heard her talk many times, and I'm not impressed at all. And again, anybody can be a PI. Anybody can be a PI, okay? You see, she said that she gotten information, she passed it on, and then she's asked, well, what did you pass on? How did you help? She said, I just started working this case. This is also avoidance, right? She's trying to make herself seem more competent than she is. She's trying to take credit for accomplishments that she has not accomplished. So remember, Seth Rogers fired her later on. She was not a good PI. So I have to analyze both. I have to in order for me to get to the bottom of things, I need to analyze not only the Proudfoots, but also her. Because we need to look at the bigger picture, even though it can become more tedious, okay? So in case people think I'm taking sides or whose side are you on, dude, please, thank you.
got a chance to talk to you or Katie yet.
Well, here's the thing. You're not talking to her by herself.
And by the way, Chris Proudfoot has the same mentality like Durwood or Jordan. The same type of mentality, man. The same kind of shit. Just yelling and screaming and trying to intimidate. And oh my God, listen to this fool. I haven't listened to him in a long time. His voice is so familiar to me. I used to listen to him. I had to listen to him. You know what I mean? Katie watches me. She used to watch me. But Chris wouldn't know what the hell I'm talking about. He's a doofus. He's an absolute doofus.
Period.
Okay.
You're not going to talk to my
Okay,
wife.
fine. Set up an appointment.
And he proudly admitted to beating Sebastian with the belt. He's different than Daniel in that regard. Daniel doesn't want people to know. Dare I say, Daniel may feel ashamed. This dude feels ashamed of absolutely nothing.
All right, set up an appointment with me. Do you want to do that? I can come back. I mean, I can respect your time. I'm not trying to do this. Whatever. I mean, I really think everybody just needs to calm down. Emotions are high. People are flinging mud, and it's just getting drama and stupid. And that is a terrible disadvantage to Sebastian.
Right, but let me inform you on something. You're not the one being threatened here.
Nothing about Sebastian, right? The Proudfoots say no, Sebastian is dead. Their only concern is self, in my opinion.
I think everybody's being threatened. Did you know there was a drive-by shooting last?
People being threatened. Bullshit.
Okay, all right. I mean, I don't understand.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Can I listen to this fool? Oh my God, people. Are you still with me? Or was everybody leaving like, what the hell is this? Oh, I used to listen to this dude every single freaking day. And I hate to say it, but I believe nothing will come out of it. I don't believe this case will ever be officially solved. Tough guy scared of threats. Yes, exactly. Exactly. When a guy is acting really, really tough and then he's saying, oh, but this person threatened me. Bullshit. BS. And I think this is when I first gotten online, when I first started making videos, I watched my language very closely. And I think about after 5 or 6 analyses of statements of his, I gotten to the point where it's like, gee, man, it impacts you. It really does. It really does, Ilyanka. It really, really does.
Why you guys are coming at me? I didn't do anything to you.
Okay, well, first off, you came to my house.
Oh, man. I'm suffering. Hey, Rosebud, you were here in the beginning. Mimi, hi. Everybody, thank you. I keep it going. I swear more now, too. Oh, my God.
The other day,
Yes, walked
Monday,
yesterday.
you walked around my fucking property with a you videotape and put pictures.
Privately owned property back
They
there.
didn't fucking post it all sides of that property.
I will let it run through, even if I pick up a few things here and there.
I mean, the easement between houses is not usually.
Does it stop about the easement?
No, he
I own it.
in that fucking subdivision.
I own half, my neighbors own half, period. That's not public. There are no.
I mean, there's no property lines. There's no way to tell what
It's
is.
marked. I have stakes.
I mean, can you show me? Because I
I
didn't.
show you all 4 no trespassing signs.
They're on the fence.
You can go on the city and you can look at the property line and you can.
I mean, they're on the fence. I wouldn't jump your fence.
I own it. Half of that is mine, half of that is theirs. That's why they turned it in and they turned it into the police.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh my God, the dude in the background yelling and yelling. And by the way, your son is missing. Your son is missing. Your son is missing.
I think that when there's a no trespassing sign on the fence, that means you don't go into the fence. I'm not going to go into the fence.
Negative. Actually, that's wrong.
Okay, well, I'm not sure how I would know that.
Let me-
All right, well, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm just not really sure how anybody would know that easement is
You
yours.
stepped out of your car the other day and you walked onto the property.
Yelling at me. This is really ridiculous. Like, this is a drama that's a disadvantage
I'm moving forward.
to Sebastian. He's not going to be found this way.
Answer my
Shut up.
Family and I am the family. So
exactly.
if I didn't
So
hire
that
you,
tells me right there that you're hired by the Rogers family.
But I am not hired to implicate or accuse you, and
I'm not asking you
Okay.
to implicate.
I am trying to find him. So I want to talk to you too.
Oh,
You'll come find me.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm here trying to find you.
I'm not hard to find.
Okay, when do you want it? Let's set this up. When do you want to meet?
Work.
Whenever. We're at Memphis. I'll be in Jackson tomorrow, so I can meet you. I can I can come all the way to Memphis if that's what you require, or you can meet me somewhere in between.
Well, I would prefer you come see me because I work nights. So 9 to 1 when you guys are up, I'm actually sleeping.
Okay, so, but it's not going to be you and Katie. It's just going to be you.
It would be just me because unless Katie's coming down to see me, which she can, we have other things that have to happen at the house. It wouldn't be together. The only time we're going to be together might be.
and Katie shows no interest. Chris takes over most of the time. and he took over most of the interviews. But Katie is the mother of Sebastian. She's a sociopath also. Jeez.
Monday. That's when we might actually be back together again.
Okay, well,
I'm working.
I mean, I'd rather do it both at the same time. And you already said you don't want me talking to your wife without you present.
Mhm.
So
Right.
that would mean,
And you can ask the cops that. They don't show up and talk to her without somebody telling us both. That's
Okay.
just the way this works. That's safety in numbers. I don't trust. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't know.
Hey, Granville, how are you? We're talking about the Sebastian Rogers case, and we have the early foot. Yeah. Anyways. Anywho, anyhow.
well, and I mean, we wouldn't know each other. I mean, we have no reason to know each other prior to this. But
But it's not hard to make a phone call and talk to somebody first. Blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
That's fine.
By the way, there was also suggestions. Seth and the PI had a relationship, and there was so much crap happening around the case that really gotten everything derailed. And there's a lot of inside info that I have from people who know the people. And that was mishandled in every single area. And I believe a lot of people failed Sebastian. I just figured that I'm going to give you guys a little bit of, this may be new to you. Okay, Grendel, good.
however, my history with cases like this is that, especially with you guys are already defensive.
Right, I understand that. Not everybody in this world is like that. Not everybody is like that. I'm not. I'll be honest, I'm level-headed. I'm very brash. I'm blunt to the point. I've already told the cops this. I don't give a flying fuck.
I don't give a flying fuck with you. Yeah, I used to do with Chris Proudfoot what I'm doing with Janie now. You can read the comments on my old videos. People were, I don't know if I can. I'll tell you, because he's so stupid. After a while, I just have to goof on him, man. Chris Proudfoot, and crystal clear. Now we're going, get him. No. Freaking semi-literate moron.
What happens to him, or what happens to that fucking family?
Yeah.
They did what they did.
Yeah. What would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not this isn't helping Sebastian.
It didn't help Sebastian when he aired his trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost $50,000 on my son going missing.
Okay, so Katie Proudfoot is now doing exactly what Durwood was doing. She is suggesting Seth. Well, she's bringing, and Seth used to get a lot of donations. I don't know if he still does, but this is also avoidance. Maybe he made $50,000. Maybe that's how much money he quit his job and bought a house, and maybe that's true. But that doesn't mean. You see, look at what she said right here. And let's make sure we look at it from every single angle, because then it's going to be so easy for us to dissect this.
This isn't helping Sebastian.
It helps
Okay, now he says it didn't help Sebastian.
Sebastian when he aired his trauma. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother.
Okay, the trauma, Sebastian was abused, SA. And while under the watch of Chris and Katie Proudfoot, and Seth Rogers spoke about that publicly. I believe he was on Vinnie Politan, or no, not Vinnie. I think he was on a national TV show, True Crime something, and he talked about that. And Katie Proudfoot did not want people to know that under her watch, Sebastian was raped. Okay? So that's her concern, self, her reputation. She does not want people to think she was a bad mother. It didn't help Sebastian when he accused his mother. By the way, Katie Proudfoot speaks very fast when she's on script, and she took time. She let Chris speak, and then she prepared her script, and she's like shot out of a cannon right now. And every single time she speaks fast, it's 100% script. It's already in her mind. Otherwise, she has a very hard time reacting to anything, guys.
Of murder. It didn't help Sebastian when he made almost $50,000 on my
$50,000 on my
son going missing.
On my son going missing. Going missing? Let's hear this one more time.
$50,000 on my son going missing.
Who did?
Seth.
Yeah.
Don't know. I didn't know about that. I don't know anything about that.
Every single
You see, now she's thinking, and all he's paying me is what? You see, she's trying to cause division too.
day he goes
Here,
on. Internet sleuth.
let me lay this out for you, okay? Take to the investigation.
Him. I tried to work with him.
We were all in my house.
Mhm.
Me, Katie, Seth, and 2 other witnesses and law enforcement were in the house.
Yeah.
I brought up what can we do to help with this situation.
Right. Okay.
Oh, God.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I told you I don't trust people right now. And people are trying to use shit and however they can. But that conversation in that living room.
Again, he was overwhelmed with the public pointing out the obvious. He wasn't able to intimidate people online the way he intimidated his neighbors who are too scared to speak. Oh my God, can I suffer through?
It was an agreed upon deal not to do anything with a GoFundMe page and collect money and benefit off of this.
Mhm.
So, Seth Rogers makes a lot of money. Your son is missing. Why are you so worried about that and haven't yet said a damn thing about where Sebastian might be? This is a PI. Don't you want to find out how you can help?
And sure as shit, what happened? The very next fucking day, there's a GoFundMe fucking page that's posted. So I'm sorry.
So I didn't understand how
That's true, but what do you want? What is your concern?
he knew that Sebastian wouldn't be found and would need money when my son hadn't been missing 72 hours, and yet he knew he was going to need money to pay his bills that far in advance. That speaks
Again, it might be true, but
volumes to me. The fact that he can't be bothered to help look for his son in the beginning.
oh my God.
The fact that he literally released my son's sensitive trauma issues and blatantly lied about all of the details surrounding it, including the age of the person who did it to him.
So the person who raped him was 12, not 13. Yeah, I think that's what it was. She said he was not 13. Well, I don't even know what to say about that. Who cares would be an understatement. When are you gonna start talking about your son and where he is and how bad you want to find him and how much you miss him and what can be done to locate him? That should be priority. If you find out what happened to Sebastian, every innocent person will already be cleared, right? Except you know what happened to him and you know what happened to his body. And you don't want people to find him. And remember, I talked about Worshams very, very early. I'm going to get back to my very early analysis. And just like with Jack and Lilly, what I wrote a year ago, I stand by it. So far, I haven't been wrong in this case.
The fact that he has turned my son missing into some dramatized bullshit for the internet.
Now, he mentioned that your son suffered SA abuse. And he said, in his opinion, you're not a good mother because it happened under your watch. And he has a right to say that, I think. Right? Because he was asked by Vinnie Politan, I think by Vinnie, is she a good mother? He said, in my opinion, no. He was asked why, because he was 7 or 8 and a boy that was 12 or 13, violated him. And as I've said from the very beginning, I believe Sebastian's behavior was more trauma-based than autism-based. But they're using autism to make it seem like there is something genetic they had no control over, to avoid admitting to the fact that they didn't protect him, I think. So what is the intention? Reputation control, damage control. That is the intention. Once you get to the intention, everything else falls into place, people. And the intention here is not Sebastian to find him at all. And we have to ask ourselves why. And the very, very clear answer is they already know what happened to him. They want people not to look at them at all, because I believe they know what happened and the answers can only come through them. That's why they don't want to speak.
Just so he can profit. And it's sad. It is.
Well, he also wants his son back. Okay, so he wants to profit. He also wants his son to be found.
It is truly sickening, honestly.
Making it sound that, oh God, this is too obvious. Sorry.
It's sickening if we profit off of this.
I don't need to be on television hanging flyers. I don't need to brag that I have done what I have done to help find my son.
You guys also have a lot more money than Seth. You live in a $600,000 house. And Katie was, what did she work for, Brinks? Or she had you guys have a lot more money than Seth.
Well, I understand how you guys feel about everything.
So you don't push the information to.
And no, that doesn't mean anything. It's just like, I'm just saying it in general to put it all into perspective that Seth, they don't need the money. Let's say it like that. They can take a couple months off of work and it doesn't hurt them. Let's say it like that. They won't even feel it. They can write a $17,500 check to Stephen Fisher and not even feel it.
Detective Carter.
I haven't talked to Carter yet. Carter has not gotten back with me.
And Detective Carter seems to be close to Chris. And when Seth Rogers suggested somebody saw Katie close to the house at saw Chris's mother close to the house 5:30 a.m., which I believe, he said, you need to talk to Detective Carter. The same way that Daniel Martel always says, look at the documents, Chris always says, talk to Detective Carter. So I don't know if they're suddenly friends or if they whatever, but the TBI, but their law enforcement made some real mistakes that I believe they're not, they're taking it easy with this case. The same way that Daniel says, look at the documents, forget everything else. Chris is saying, go through, if you don't get through Detective Carter, it doesn't count. Well, it does.
So I had to,
Down here with me.
okay, well, that's good to know, but
The reason why they didn't answer.
yeah,
I know that.
but so yeah, but
Don't take this the wrong way, but why is a PI going on doing internet sleuth interviews?
Oh,
he contacted me before I was even hired to work the case.
that's true. She had the Web Sleuth channel, or she was on there, right? Something like that.
But yeah,
No
but
offense, I'm just asking.
no, I mean, I'm not a sleuth. I'm actually a PI.
I didn't call you a
Yeah.
Oh, God.
on
the
internet
Sleuth podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked me for my thoughts on the Sebastian Rogers case, and
So
who is
I'm
it?
aware of all of that. And Seth is not doing anything that he hasn't already done to me in the past.
Like, I'm not interested in the drama. I'm not interested in the rumors. I'm going to base who I think needs to be on the radar based on my interviews, my
Oh,
investigation, not what anybody else says.
So I have a question. You conduct your portion, do your thing,
Mm-hmm.
and we all know the Rogers family has hired you.
Okay.
It is very evident
Okay.
because we didn't hire. So
They
Okay.
announced it publicly. It's not a secret. I know, but we already know.
There is another PI too, by the way.
I know. There's
Okay.
at least like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh yeah, I will tell you this. You can tell all the PIs because I know you all talk.
Yeah, we do.
Because we're sick and tired of being stalked and people
Yeah.
coming on our properties. Because that's not just my property. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
theirs.
God.
We've
Okay.
worked
You know,
with
we're cool about that. Like,
probably 24 different, I'm the best one, I'm going to crack the case people already. And every last one of them that have talked to us, we have said, you are welcome to come and
Can you imagine being a 15-year-old autistic boy living with this guy? Can you believe being a child living with this dude? Seriously. Can you imagine? I mean, I know Peter Hyatt was very much into this case before he passed. And he openly bragged about beating him with a belt. And what else did he say? He said so many things about Sebastian. Wow. Oh, God. I was so happy to move on to Jack and Lilly, so I didn't have to listen to this fool anymore. But you know what? The case is still open officially. So let's keep going.
start from square one. You're not going to find anything that,
Well, I only
250 professionals didn't, but you're welcome to try because at this point,
Okay, what, Grandel? But wasn't the GoFundMe that says that it was for Sebastian and the search for him? Yeah, I mean, it was about, it all changed when he hired Tony, right? He hired a guy to manage him. That's when everything changed. Before, initially, yes, the GoFundMe was help me find my son. Absolutely. And pretty quickly after that, he did get a lot of donations, and he took time off work, I think, or then he quit, or but that's what they are basically now saying. The only reason they're suggesting that the only reason for him to say what he said was because he wants. It's similar to Durwood saying, "Oh, they all want to just make money off of me. That's why they lie about me." You know what I mean? It's the same MO. It's the same. What's going on here? Let me read through the chat. Okay, moderators, you take care of whatever. Because I'm so into this, I don't pay attention to anything.
been here since day one when all this went down.
Yeah.
And people don't understand. People can say, well, I understand how you feel when nobody knows how we feel.
Yeah.
Because unless you've lost.
Easy now, people. I don't know what you're talking about. A private PI has the balls to state that she is going to crack the case. Really? So you are withholding info to LE? Who's withholding info? Who's withholding information? I'm sorry, I missed this. Yeah, they're only there for themselves. I see nothing wrong with these comments, guys. I don't know what's about. Mike, no, Seth did not have the right to reveal to the entire world of Sebastian's trauma. That's also abuse from Seth. Okay, I don't know. Okay, listen, guys. So did Seth Rogers have the right to tell people about Sebastian's trauma if we think Sebastian is still alive? Of course, from my angle, you know, he's no longer alive. But does the father have a right to reveal to the public that Sebastian was abused in that manner? Yes or no? What do you think? All answers are welcome, people. And if this causes any problems, I'm going to move on back to Jack and Lily, because this case seems to be, all I see is people arguing about the case on Twitter, and it doesn't go anywhere, guys. I have nothing good to say about this PI, Ilyanka. Nothing good to say. Not one good thing do I have to say about this PI. And Web Sleuth is a joke. The conversations were a joke. Everything that came out of this case was a waste of time. The claim that there was a green hoodie person, the claim from at night, nonsense. So the so-called green team, I blame them as well. I blame them for blindly jumping on the wrong bandwagon and replacing the official theory with an even more ludicrous one, right? The so-called green team claiming there's something that happened at the Texas Roadhouse. Sebastian never made it home. The statements clearly show us that Katie Proudfoot was with Sebastian that night in the house. She over-medicated him. Something happened. I believe he fell out of bed. He got hurt, and at 3 a.m., a car pulled up, transporting him or his body away from the property. The end. The rest, we should look at the Bauer Success properties. So I am definitely interested in what you guys think in terms of, does Seth have a right to say that Sebastian was abused? If we believe he's still alive. I think it's a valid question. I think it's a very valid question, Ilyanka. I have nothing good to say about this PI. Nothing good. A lot of people failed Sebastian. But the bottom line is, Katie was at home with Sebastian, and I believe she is responsible for what happened to him.
The child and you've gone through this prep, you don't know. Like, I don't tell people, you don't know shit.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I will tell you.
I think he had a right to do it. I think he had a right to say, my son was abused under their watch. Personally, I believe that he let us know a little bit of history, allowing us to realize that Sebastian's behavior was also trauma-based. And that's what I think. He can leak the facts of if they are true. Otherwise, or okay, they are true. The only thing that they were able to say is the boy was not 13 years old. So that's also avoiding to tell us if it's true or not. So let's make sure that we are not part of the problem. Because again, I blame the supporters of the Proudfoots as well as the Green Team for talking about insignificant things and talking them to death. And because of that, the case becoming cold as ice. And I believe when Seth hired a manager, everything changed. So it's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. And I will end this if I think that this will lead to a conversation in chat that turns into a reflection of the shit show. A lot of people have failed Sebastian. A lot of people have. But there was only one person in the house when Sebastian got hurt. I believe other people helped transporting his body away. Period. Ilyanka, are you still there? I have nothing good to say about this PI. And as again, from what I was told, and that's only me saying it and saying I believe my sources, Seth and the PI had a relationship and a falling out. And there is a lot of stuff that happened behind the scenes that caused me to lose interest in the case. Because I realize that we may stick our necks out too much. And maybe the people who Seth had nothing to do with the disappearance, but I don't like him. And I learned a lot about him, more than I say. Again, this is about Sebastian. It is about what happened to Sebastian. That's the only thing I'm interested in. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to move on back to something else because this is not going well, people. And from the first day, I have pointed out that things are not what they should be. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to play it out with Janie's Got a Rake. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me find it. Janie's Got a Rake. Jesus Christ, man.
I know for 100% they won't find anything.
So what do you make of the fact that they are bringing the cadaver dogs in?
Janie's got a right. Well, I'm actually pretty happy about that. Janie's got a right. I even hope that they bring more than one. She's got so much to do.
So what are you happy about?
Her driveway needs a pool. I would just like to see maybe the social media speculation theories, accusations, maybe They're not going to stop or slow down. At this point, they're getting ridiculous.
Daddy was arrested. They found him on the pipeline trail. In front of helicopters running. Now that Janie's got a ring, Fluffy's never gonna be the same. Daniel's so fake, now what's he gonna do? Was he building a fence or clearing for a pool? Did the kids go to sleep at 10 or at 8? Little Danny boy can't escape his fate. Danny's more concerned about what you're thinking. The kids are an afterthought, let that sink in. Rolling the net pops up like a whack-a-mole. You wanna buy a story with a giant hole? Apparently Thursday had no detail. Here comes Mike on a mission to derail. All of the BS Danny is speaking. International seed of guilt is leaking. Thinks he's so smart, but he never took the course. Forensic linguistics will knock him off his horse. Shout out to 10 for the 4K drone shot. Now it is clear that his house is in earshot. Mystery car running tips through the night. Observed by Wong, he could even see the headline. Victim blaming is degrading the children. He's more concerned about the world's perception. Girl after girl, he receives rejection. At least he's got his mum when he needs some affection. Janie's got a right.
So are you thinking that the dogs will go in there and won't find anything?
Janie's got a right.
I know for 100% they won't find anything.
She's got so much to do.
I didn't do anything.
Her driveway needs a pool.
No, Malaya didn't do anything. No, my mother didn't do
What
anything.
did her daddy do?
There were 2 people on the property.
What did he put Jack and Lily through?
I mean, after the polygraph exam,
They said when Daddy was arrested, they found him on the pipeline trail.
we didn't kill any of the kids. We didn't kill any of the kids.
In front of helicopters running, now that Janie's got a rate, Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
We didn't kill any of the kids.
Danny's on a roll, now he can't stop speaking, plugging up the holes, but his ship is sinking. Thursday was just an ordinary day. I just spent 20 minutes trying to explain that nothing didn't happen and there are no details. Stupid dog handlers, they ain't gonna sniff trail. 100% they will not find nothing. That's a double negative, you dumb butt muffin. I was awake and asleep at the exact same time. But hang on, is Malaya's story lining up with mine? No cars were towed, but it's not at the impound. It wasn't in my name and the car makes no sound. This is a case of abuse and negligence. Jack and Lily are the victims of its consequence. Victim blaming is the mode of the family. You never hear anyone take responsibility. There were 3 adults on the block that night. People don't just vanish. Get that right? Like JonBenet Ramsey, this should be an indictment. And Janie is to blame for your incitement. You put up a wrench, but what the hell for? Like a bear can turn a handle, but not slide a door. Your incessant rambling is a gift to detectives. So many contradictions, your tale is defective. Janie's got a right.
Filled notebooks with just trying to help them find leads or
Janie's got a right.
give them any kind of small detail answers, any questions as we can. Or,
Much to
you know,
do.
I'm doing everything I can.
Her driveway needs a pool.
So why do you think this step is necessary?
What did her daddy do?
Well, it just rules
What
outline
did he put Jack
brings
and Lily
them a little bit closer to being close.
They said when Daddy was arrested, they found him on the pipeline trail.
I'm not going to say I'm doing well, but I'm doing better than I was there. Yes.
Helicopters running, now that Janie's got a right. Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
Tell me about the poll, like what you were
With this
mentioning
rhetorical
earlier
question,
about
he's
social
guilting
media.
the audience into defending him. That's what he's trying to do. He says, "This is what my son is doing. Myself and my son have told the total truth, suffered huge damages." Talking about suffering huge damages. This is Durwood's victimhood and his family loyalty. You know, Jack and Lily, the children, what this is all about, are mentioned last and only after and in the same breath as talking crap about the RCMP in the circumstance. And he comes with this tape demand. So he's burying this helpful claim after a bit of self-defense. You know, the deception indicator is self-preservation over solving the case. The kids in this circumstance are just props to Durwood. Now, there's a few small quotes here where the truth slips through, also known as leakage. So he says rug manufacturer / dealer, and the leakage is he's listing this so prominently. He admits it's plausible / known. Why include it if you're totally innocent? He goes on to say, the RCMP, in my opinion, should have solved this issue months ago. This is leaking that he believes the case is solvable, and he knows why it isn't. Why the protection there? What would you be protecting, Durwood? The quote is, the people responsible for this mess, which is plural, and mess minimizes the unaliving or the event that happened in the cover-up as mere inconvenience to him. This unverified November 13th claim, there's zero evidence that this interview he mentioned took place. And by the way, not to mention, did a quick search for this cop, and it seems like you're just making up a name, dude. You just made up a name, Dirtwood. He doesn't even exist. There's no record of any.
Let me see if there's Donaldson. I just got sent something by somebody about officer, and I want to see if it's the same name. I want to make sure. Give me a second here. Okay. Again, doesn't mean that Durwood provided any type of information. I strongly doubt they care about what he has to say. And the documents also indicated that Durwood is a nuisance, according to law enforcement. Let's make this very, very clear, people. Very clear. Very, very clear.
John Donaldson working. Everybody now in 2025 has phones that you can just hit record and document this whole interview from your perspective, all of this information. Why the privacy? Why the suggestion? You're such a liar, Dirtwood. What is missing here? What's he avoiding? I guess there's not really any specific denial. For example, like I never sold rugs to Danny. Maybe that's Jordan. He's avoiding testable lies. He's avoiding this Thursday visit, Jordan's house, the mention of tools and backpacks. So the core timeline from his own prior statements are completely ignored. This is new in this sense. He's avoiding what the information he's talking about actually is, isn't he? This vague hero claim. This vague hero claim with no substance. That's typical Dirtwood. Derp, derp, derp. Here you go again all over Facebook for the RCMP claiming that you have all of this significant information. This has been a cycle for you, Dirtwood. They should just slap the cuffs on you again. Didn't they come already talk to you because of this? And you said that's never going to happen again. I'm sorry, officers. in the CBC, they said that you accosted the cops, started becoming aggressive. They were going to tase your butt. Why wait until November 13th, 2025? 6+ months? You guys were silent, and all of a sudden you're bringing forth some solving info? Come on, dude. You're deflecting to the RCMP or podcasters like Mike and others. You never address your own contradictions.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever.
Ever.
What is it old Derpwood wants? Moving on to intentions.
Good.
The quote, think about this.
Yeah. Perfect.
His goal here is to manipulate emotions.
That's all he wants. Think about this. Great catch from A Balance. What does he want you to do? The first word is think. About this. Think about this. That's what he wants. He wants your mind to go right there. We've been thinking, Durwood. We've been thinking. And that's what the problem is for you. That we are thinking. Don't think about the reality of things, but think about this. This is a sidetracking maneuver. Don't look there, look here. Miss everything else. And that is exactly what A Balance has just pointed out. And it is 100% correct. His priority is for you to think about something else. Pay attention to him. Pay attention to him. Don't pay attention to the facts. Pay attention to what he says. He's no longer invited onto lives. He's now only commenting in the chat. Nobody wants to hear anything from him again. He's no longer relevant. And he wants to be relevant again. He can't stay away because of that.
You defend your dad too. He's trying to manipulate the audience's emotions.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I'm such a victim in all of this. Or either for some way to prove that he helped or expose the edited tape if it makes him look bad. That's just bull BS from him. They have a tape of it. Why don't you have a tape of your
Welcome back, Ilyanka.
discussion with the RCMP if it was, so voluntary there, son? I'm talking about
Thank you, Krista, Maxine, Julia, if you're still here. And Danielle. Not Daniel, but Danielle.
RCMP needing to start to be accountable. It's a bit of a narrative flip on behalf of Derpwood. The RCMP equal the villains to Durwood. And old Darren Getty's here, a.k.a. Derpwood. He's the victim / whistleblower. How could you people even be involved?
And, I don't know about you, man, but there comes a point. You're using Durwood O'Grady. Why are you using a pseudonym? Because you're worried about your privacy? Before, when you are online, you don't want to be known because you need your privacy, but you put yourself out there all the way and still go by that stupid pseudonym, as if people didn't know you're Darren Geddes. And even though it's an unusual spelling, we all know by now it's spelled with an I and not an E. And still, you're using this stupid pseudonym?
Or with this complete buffoon?
Or is it a form of branding? Yeah, thank you. I know. When I go, there we go. You mean that one? Absolutely. That's why I like to do these things without too much preparation. I like to do these while I'm on the air, because sometimes when I am too prepared, I have already registered and already move on to the next without actually letting others into my thought process. And the thought process is number one here. It is not about hammering down the rules of statement analysis, but rather making sure that every single person watching and listening understands everything that I'm saying. And Diesel, where have you been, dude? You missed some real bullshit. So you're coming at a good time. Oh, but the beginning of my video was good. You can watch that until you're like, oh, I already know. Old news. Anyways, people, this is exactly what A balance is doing, is exactly how you approach a statement, people. With class. The priority, think about this as a priority. Think about this. And the intention is to lead people away. Make them think about something other than what they've been thinking about. Or stop thinking. Just consume. Consume my complete bullshit right now.
Intention. Some intention is to buy some time, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Try to regain some control.
That's also, he wants to regain relevance too. And he knows he has no more control. People don't want him anymore on their live streams. Because people, even though these people, not all of them are being truthful, but they figure, you know what? I don't want somebody who's even more of a blatant liar. Somebody who's such an obvious liar, because by association, it'll freaking kill me. Because it is too obvious. You're not a smart man, Darren Geddes. You're not a smart man. You're not a good liar either. You're a consistent liar. You're a habitual liar. It comes easy to you, but you're not good at it, no matter how much practice you have. And this is not a local bar where you can stay up and say, what you say about my mama? Nobody gives a crap. People are here for information. And when they hear you, they say, who the hell is this dude, man? Who the hell? Who the hell? This is different than the respect that you get at the local bar. Oh, that's old Durwood. 30 years ago, he knocked the guy out. I learn a little bit about your past, Durwood. I learn about who you are, who you have been, who you want to be again, and who you're trying to be. And it's not working out. It's game over, homeboy. It's game over. Accept it. You're only making it worse, not only for you, but also for Jordan. Okay?
Try to silence us.
And before Jordan snaps completely, I suggest that you maybe, delete the Facebook app. How about that? I don't know if you have a laptop. I mean, you claim you're homeless. I don't know if you have, you know what I mean? But maybe you should delete the Facebook app, dude. Just keep the messenger up there so you can communicate with friends and relatives. And you have a lot of relatives. Everybody's related to everybody down there, right? From what I understand. I still don't know who you're related to, but I know that you had a relationship with so many different women there and whatever, and you are the stud of the bar, and you know. Oh yeah, I got a theme song for you, Jordan. Papa was a Rolling Stone, right? Well, he still is. Papa is a Rolling Stone. Wherever he parks his truck is his home. Yeah. I don't think he had a relationship with Janie, by the way. I think Janie is done with dudes. But she wasn't, according to some stuff that I heard about the contractor. But I think Janie is by now done with dudes. I don't think you can impress her. Not that you want her, which, by the way, is hard to imagine to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real. Yeah. Where am I at? Thank you guys for still being here, by the way. Okay, yeah. Papa is a Rolling Stone. Wherever he parks his truck is his home. Hey, Sun Cycle, you still there? Papa is a Rolling Stone. I don't know if you're going to want to give this guy that much attention, but I'm sure Sun Cycle can work some magic in there, dude. There's a lot of lyrical inspiration coming from these dudes, man. A lot. Holy crap, where was I? Thank you, A Balance. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for highlighting things.
Some of his critics by appearing as to be the solver of the case yet again. He already tried this. Here we go yet again. It already ruined on each and every channel. It's a cycle with him.
You see, you're probably used to telling stupid stories at the local bar. And people believe in you. You know what I mean? And you think, oh, Daniel, no problem, I got this one. But you see an international audience, you never performed for an international audience, dude. You know what I mean? It's different. My singing, Papa is a Rolling Stone. Wherever he parks his truck is his home.
These hateful lies from these podcasters, these idiots, stupid, ignorant, hateful.
When Janie calls, he will give her a bone. Okay, enough.
It's very dehumanizing towards the individuals that he's also speaking to in that sense. This is some distancing language for sure. He's meant to dehumanize his critics. You know, his accusations.
Yeah, I'm singing this so I remember the lyrics. Normally, I forget things, but yeah, this can be something. Papa is a Rolling Stone. Wherever he parks his truck is his home. When Janie calls, Durwood gives her a bone. This is rated R. No, it's not. I'm talking about the doggy bone, of course. He's bringing Fluffy a bone to play with and to chew on. Not Janie. Well, I think that, yeah. Oh my God.
Serious. He refers to this mess as as a bit of distancing. He's distancing himself from whatever happened to Jack and Lilly in that sense, but he's referring to it in specifics as it being a mess. He's minimizing the dead, missing children, minimizing Jack and Lilly.
He's absolutely doing that. This is exactly what he is doing, people. He is minimizing the severity of it all. He is not concerned at all about what took place. Absolutely not. So this is why we now spend a lot of time finishing it with him.
He's also using some distancing language here when he mentions that people are responsible. Very vague, isn't it? Vague and plural. He never names anyone. Not even Daniel and Malaya, but he knows who they are. Of course he's sensitive, isn't he? He's very sensitive when it comes to, what triggers his extreme language in that sense. That would probably be, I'm not sure if you could tell by the number of exclamation points, perhaps. Maybe that's what they were for.
Yeah.
The trigger would be the rug nonce reference. These accusations that he's bringing up, although I'm not sure where that's coming from. His reaction is to list in full caps, punctuation storm.
Almost finished, guys. You still here?
This triggers also his reputation damage. He's somehow received huge damages. His reaction to this, he states these huge damages from these stupid, ignorant, hateful people. An emotional escalation in that sense. Derpwood is not a cooperative witness in that sense.
Nope.
This is a cornered man trying to rewrite himself as the victim before the walls close in. These are extremely high deception indicators in this sense. Classic damage control.
Yes.
He claims to have handed the RCMP the solution yesterday.
Yep.
Zero cooperation 24 hours later, isn't there, Derpwood? He prioritizes his own image over Jack and Lilly in that sense. He's leaking rug ties, case solvability, and the involvement via typos, use of plurals. He avoids every incriminating detail he's previously confirmed. This dude is desperate to flip the narrative with unprovable hero claims and tape demands. Just nonsense.
Yeah, Diesel. What's new, Diesel? Anything new that I should pay attention to? I think this is it, right? It's another minute. Not even a minute.
Look at how much of a hero you are, Derpwood. You're also avoiding the core evidence, which is the Thursday visit there, Sunshine. That's what all this is about. Darren Geddes, you're not truth-telling.
You see, I agree with what A Balance has been doing here. And the one thing that I pointed out for those of you who are late was the order in which he listed the accusations, which I believe is very significant. And now I don't want to go. What is this? Are you still here? Everybody still here? What happened? Maybe my life is over and I just didn't know it. Let me see. Yeah, guys. I don't know how to end this now. I think I'm done.